Shirvanmrit. My Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manodishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yataha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shaka Nutamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shubha Devi Pranamami Ditya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhu Devacha Pattanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all of you all back to our Gita classes. I hope all of you are hearing the audios in the sessions where we're not having live classes. So there is going to be, unfortunately, a lot of audios coming in over a period of time. Next whole month, I'm traveling to US. Actually, I'm traveling the length and breadth of US practically. So most of the month, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to manage live sessions. Whenever I can, I will definitely try my best. But at least the continuation of the Gita will continue no matter where I am. At least we don't want to have a break in the Bhagavad Gita classes. That's why these audio sessions are kept as a backup plan and a idea to keep the continuity on. So for those who are from US and or connected to anybody in US, I will drop a schedule on the group eventually closer to my dates. So the schedule will point out exactly where I am and which part of US. And if anybody who is attending these Gita classes and wants to meet me anywhere, you're most welcome to meet me there. Or if you have relatives who are staying in different parts of US and you would like to suggest them to come and meet me in any of the classes that I do, you're most welcome to. So we'll begin today's session by just quickly recapping what we discussed the last time. So the chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled as Transcendental Knowledge, is divided into 4 parts. The acronym for it is years. The first part was eternal education, the first 10 verses. The second part is, which is what we began last time, is known as accurate understanding, verse number 11 to 15. And in accurate understanding, there are 3 things that we are essentially going to cover. The first concept that we're going to be covering is, which we spoke last time, was all paths do not lead to the same goal. So a lot of people have this misunderstanding that no matter what I do, I will reach the same destination. Krishna is very clearly giving an understanding that all paths don't lead to the same goal. According to which path you take, you reach a particular destination. So don't be mistaken that I do anything which seems slightly spiritual and I'll reach the same destination. That won't happen. So today we're going to be discussing the second concept, which is, are all gods one? And here is a very beautiful verse that Krishna begins this discussion of this particular concept with. So I'm going to chant this verse and you all can repeat along. Kankshanta karmana siddhim yajanta iha devata shipram hi manuse loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So the word kankshanta Kangshantaha comes from the word, I'm sure you have heard of this word, akanksha, isn't it? What is the meaning of akanksha? Akanksha essentially means desires. Um, so the idea is that everyone in this world, whoever is functioning based on certain desires that they carry. So here Krishna is saying, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So, the word Siddhi means perfection, right? So everyone in this world is looking for perfection in some way or the other. And everyone in this world is wanting to somehow perfect their lives. So Krishna, in this section of the Gita, is saying that men in this world desire success in fruitive activities. Kankshanta karmana siddhim. So Kankshanta means they have desire. Karmana means based on their fruitive activities, and they have different desires according to what action they do. So Krishna is saying men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Shipram hi manushe loke. Shipram means quickly men get results from fruitive work in this world. So this word, fruitive work, is a very important word in this particular section of the Gita. So if Krishna is the one who fulfills desires of everyone, whether it is going to heaven, going to moksha, getting siddhi or getting bhakti, why is it that people worship different devatas? To clarify this, Krishna is speaking this particular verse. So if Krishna is the fulfiller of all desires, why do people go to demigods? Krishna in this verse is first replying to the question, why do people go to the devatas at all in the first place? Why they go? Because they have kangshantaha. That means they have akanksha. Desires, obsessions. All those who have strong desires for things in this world, they don't come to me, Krishna is saying. So if you have strong desires in this world, you essentially don't go to Krishna, you go to the devatas. They go to the devatas because they want these different things and they know which counter to approach. To give you a more crude example, if one goes for air travel, there are many different airlines, isn't it? There is Vistara, Indigo, there is Go First, there is British Airways, and Singapore Airlines. And so many different airlines are there, isn't it? And different airlines have different counters. And all the counters are offering different services along with air travel. So different services essentially means it will come at different price tags. Some customer may choose an airline because of punctuality. Some customer may choose an airline because of the crew that is there in the airline. Someone may choose an airline that has more leg room. Someone has... So there are so many counters to choose from, and accordingly one chooses what one needs. One decides what one needs. All these counters are opened because there is so many akanshas. One who does not have any akanksha, he's just concerned about travel and not the frills that are offered along with the travel, isn't it? When you go to any other country in the world, there are so many airlines based on what is your comfort and what is your budget, isn't it? You can go by British Airways, you can go by Emirates. You can go by some strange random airlines like Polish Airways or something like that. Go via and reaches your destination. So basically, if you have no akanksha, no matter what, I want to reach my destination, then you take whatever airlines is available, right? But if somebody says, I want good quality food and I want good quality wine and I want good quality leg space and I want good quality comforts, then pay the price and buy a ticket. So here, Krishna is saying, Kankshata Karmana Siddhim. Those who want fruits in their life, in terms of fulfillment of material desires, Kankshantaha, they go to the demigods. There are many counters that are opened. There's a Brahma counter, there's a Lord Shiva counter, there's a Ganesh counter, there is an Indra counter. And all these counters are opened to fulfill desires of so many individuals who approach these devatas for so many different reasons. When one goes to any of these devatas to fulfill one's akanksha or desire, one has to pay the price. What is the price you pay? If you worship Lord Shiva, every Monday you offer milk and bel patta. What is the price you pay to worship Lord Ganesh? Every Tuesday, offer him some modak and some gruva grass. Thursday, there is so many personalities. Datta Guru, Sai Baba, Akal Kot Swami, Gajanan Maharaj, Jalram Bappa, so many personalities are there. Friday is Santoshi Made, one offers her good and chana. Saturday is Hanumanji and Shani Dev's day, one offers Hanumanji oil and patta, and to Shani you offer til and oil. Wednesdays and Sundays are relaxed days, Give the gods also some relaxation and we also relax. So basically, why is everyone going to all these different counters and offering different prices? Ready to pay so many prices? Because Kankshatan Karmana Siddhi. We have desires, and those desires we want those desires to be fulfilled. So anytime you go to these personalities and you ask for something in return, like one lady, she was worshipping one of the devatas, and he offered her 3 benedictions. But he also put a condition that whatever she gets, her husband will get double of it. The lady agreed. No problem, she said. So the lady asked for the first boon. First boon, she said, make her the most beautiful woman on planet Earth. The devata asked her, are you sure? Are you sure you want to become the most beautiful person? Your husband will become twice as handsome. She said, no problem. And second boon, she said, make her the richest lady in the planet. Again, he asked her, are you sure you want to be the richest lady in the planet? She said, yes, yes, yes. And then third, she said, give me a mild heart attack. So her husband gets twice double heart attack and, he collapses. So the point is that whenever we want to worship anybody, we always have a list in our pocket and we go to one particular devata because that person is specialized in that particular department. Isn't it? And everyone knows. Nobody will agree, but everyone knows this for sure. If when we speak about this, people say, no, nothing like that. I worship because I love God. But that's only the outer thing that is to show the world. But actually inside, there is a lot of akanksha. There is a lot of desires that we have. And we know whom to bribe, whom to patao, fulfill those desires, basically, Why does one worship these devatas? Yajanta iha devata, Krishna is saying. Because one has so many desires, and one does not want to go to Krishna. They are afraid to go to Krishna because Krishna may give or he may take. The devatas are known to give, and Krishna is known to take. Now, how much does Krishna take away from lives? So now people who don't want the taking away concept, they go to the gods, to the different devatas. When one goes to the devatas, one does not have to compromise with one's lifestyle. One can do whatever one wants. But when one comes to Krishna, first one has to change one's lifestyle. One has to come to the mode of goodness first and to be able to practice Krishna consciousness. One of the reasons people get scared of ISKCON is because of this. Because as soon as you come in touch with ISKCON, with Krishna consciousness, with the path of spirituality, especially when it comes to Krishna worship, you're immediately told, this is not good for you, this is good for you. You're immediately told, don't do this, you can do this. You're immediately told, follow Ekadasi Vrata, try to avoid this kind of food, try to eat this kind of food. Immediately we are told so many things. But you go to any of the devatas, you will not be told anything. Do what you want. Live the lifestyle you want. But just come and you pay obeisances to the devatas. Go back, give a little bit here and there, something. That's all. No change of lifestyle needed. That's the reason people don't come to Krishna at all. They're scared. Because Krishna is into life transformation. He is not just into fulfilling your desires. He is not into just giving you what you want. He might take away something that is not needed in your life, or rather something that is harmful in your life. And therefore people think twice before coming to Krishna. So, why do people not want to come to Krishna? Because their hearts are overwhelmed by akanksha. They don't want to come to Krishna. And Krishna says, whatever desire a person comes to me with, I will fulfill the desire. I will reciprocate with him based on the way he comes to me. He says, if somebody wants heaven, I'll give him heaven. If somebody wants moksha, I'll give him moksha. If somebody wants bhakti, I'll give him bhakti. If somebody wants siddhi, I'll give him siddhi. But why people don't go to him? Because there is no guarantee he'll do all this. Because Krishna is our father. A father does not fulfill all desires of the child. Very selectively fulfills desires of the child. Why? Because the father knows some of the desires are very harmful to the child. But uncles, aunts, grandfathers, grandmothers, they don't think so much. Whatever the child wants, they give. Therefore, children love anybody except parents. Why? Because they don't monitor closely, isn't it? Parents are very dangerous for children. They see them 24 hours a day, and therefore they monitor them more closely. They know all their bad habits, so therefore they monitor the bad habits very closely. And that is why people choose the devatas over Krishna, because Krishna doesn't give them directly. If you go to Arthur Road jail or any jail for that matter, there are criminals who stay inside and they do all kinds of antisocial activities inside the jails. They get cigarettes to smoke, they get alcohol to drink, some of them have so many facilities. They have TVs inside their cell, they have fridge, they have telephones. They practically run a business outside, sitting inside the jail. Why? Because there are some agents who are standing outside. And the wife of the prisoner bribes these agents. Go and give him a cigarette. The agent comes in, gives a cigarette to the fellow. So now, he is not concerned about the consequence of that fellow smoking. Is he? He is not concerned. He is only concerned in his money. That's all. So this world is like a prison house. We are all prisoners in this prison house, isn't it? In one way or the other, we are prisoners. And unfortunately, there are people in this world who want to enjoy inside the prison house. They don't think, Arey Baba, this prison house is bad. I want to get out of the prison house. They are not bothered about getting out of the prison house. They want to make their life inside the prison house luxurious. So Krishna is trying to tell us, Baba, why are you making your life inside the prison house so luxurious? Try to get out of the prison house. So he facilitates all our desires that help us get out of the prison house. But most people in this world are not interested in getting out of the prison house. They want to be inside the prison house having a happy time. Therefore, they don't approach Krishna. So here, in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, Krishna tells Uddhav, his best friend, cousin brother, and his messenger and his advisor. He tells him, Bhajante ye yatha deva, deva api athen tavan. So he's saying, how much ever one worships the demigods, accordingly, the demigods will pay one back. If you do 10% for the demigods, the demigods will give you 10% back. If you do 50% for the demigods, will return back 50%. So according to how much you do for the demigods, they will return back to you. That's what Krishna is saying. It is never to be understood that if one worships them, one will get double or triple benefit. As much as one worships, that much one will get. So Krishna is telling Uddhava about the benefit of worshipping the devatas. So, in this whole understanding of the different devatas, we find a couple of very important things. Worshipping everyone, or rather worshipping any of the devatas, is not going to lead to the same place. And all the devatas are not same. In India, we have this big misunderstanding, or rather misconception, that everyone is one. That is not true at all. If you look at the way in which there is treatment of the different personalities, like say, for example, look at these verses that are there in front of you. Just to give you some terminologies that are used in the Vedic culture. So when Lord Shiva is speaking, look at what is said. Shri Rudra Uvacha. Right? Which means Lord Shiva is speaking. Shri Rudra Uvacha. So when Brahma speaks, it is said Brahma Uvacha. And look at what happens when Krishna speaks. It is said Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Every time in any scripture you will find Krishna is speaking, it is always mentioned Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. You will not find this being mentioned for any other personality. So there is a very specific understanding. So God is not a matter of speculation. Ask the authorities. And when you ask authorities, you will get a specific answer. One time, there was a discussion among the sadhus, among all the sages, that who among the three, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, who is the greatest among the three? There was a long discussion. And in that long discussion, they finally decided to choose one of the sages, whose name was Bhrigu, to go and test the three of them and to figure out who among them is the greatest. So Bhrigu went and he decided to test them in their own abodes. So first Bhrigu went to Lord Brahma. Brahma was the father of Bhrigu. And when Bhrigu went to Lord Brahma, Bhrigu did not respect Brahma, did not offer his obeisances in front of Lord Brahma. Brahma, he understood that Bhrigu is not offering respects. And Brahma got a little upset. Brahma didn't show it. He didn't speak anything. He didn't show his anger. But Bhrigu looked at the eyes of Brahma. You know what you try to hide, your eyes reveal. There are many things you don't want to tell somebody. But just look at their eyes. You will understand. Without you telling anything, just looking at the eyes of the person, you understand what the person is not trying to tell. Brahma was very upset, actually, very angry, actually. Externally, he seemed calm, smiling, and all that. We also do like that, right? Sometimes we are very upset at someone, but we smile. But look at your eyes. Your eyes will reveal what exactly is going on in your mind. Bhrigu was expert, and he understood immediately that Brahma is very upset. Then he went to Lord Shiva, and Shiva was the brother of Bhrigu. So when Bhrigu went to Lord Shiva, Shiva was so happy that his brother has come to meet him after a long period of time. Shiva came running to embrace Bhrigu. When he was about to embrace Bhrigu, Bhrigu said, "Hey, stop it, don't touch me." Shiva was surprised. Why is he doing this? Bhrigu said, "Your body is filled with ashes. You're so dirty from the crematorium. Don't touch me. Stay away from me." Lord Shiva was furious. He took out his Trishul and was going to kill Bhrigu. And Parvati somehow stopped Lord Shiva, from expressing his anger. Bhrigu understood that he is angry. So here we find Bhrigu scaled up the offense. In Brahma, he did what is known as mental offense. But with Lord Shiva, he did what is known as verbal offense. When somebody mentally offends you, you're not so angry, isn't it? You don't know what that person is thinking. You end up giving benefit of doubt. But when somebody is verbally offending you, you get really angry. So Lord Shiva was verbally abused by Bhrigu, and Shiva was furious. Bhrigu walked away from there. And he went to the abode of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu was sleeping on his snake bed. Bhrigu straight goes up to Lord Vishnu and kicks Vishnu on his chest, right in front of his wife, in his own bedroom. And as soon as Vishnu is kicked on the chest by Bhrigu, Vishnu gets off his asan, off his seat, and he begins to massage the feet of Bhrigu. And he tells Bhrigu, "Oh Bhrigu, your feet are so soft like a lotus, and my chest is as hard as a stone. I'm sure your feet must be hurt. Let me massage you." And Bhrigu was shocked and bewildered. Of course, Lakshmi was very upset. Lakshmi cursed Bhrigu that, "I curse you because you kicked my husband's chest." And chest is the place where Lakshmi resides, right? The chest of Lord Narayan is where Lakshmi resides. She cursed him, "Because you kicked the chest of my husband, I curse you that I will never stay with the Brahmanas." So wherever Brahmanas are there, you will always read in any story that is there in the scripture, you will always read one poor Brahmana. You will never ever read one rich Brahmana because Lakshmi doesn't reside over there. Because Bhrigu kicked the chest of Lord Vishnu. Now, interestingly, the greatness of a person is estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situations, tolerating anger, and learning to forgive. How great you are is determined by how much you can tolerate provocations. We are not great at all, isn't it? A little pain here and there, we can't tolerate. Somebody says something little here and there, we can't tolerate. If somebody looks at us, we can't tolerate. If somebody doesn't look at us, we can't tolerate. If somebody replies to us, we can't tolerate. If somebody doesn't reply to us, we can't tolerate. We just lose it for anything, isn't it? That's our level. So we're not great at all. So we may think we are great, but the moment one provocation comes, we understand actually who we are. We're not at all great. Till no provocation comes in our life, we are all great people. But the test of greatness is when a provocation comes. And we fail miserably, isn't it? I don't know how many of y'all, clear the tests of provocations, but I can tell about myself at least. It's very difficult to handle provocations. It's not easy at all. So here, the moment Lord Vishnu did that, Bhrigu understood he is great. So this story historically establishes the position of Lord Vishnu as the greatest personality. Of course, it is not just about what we feel and what others feel. It is also about what the devatas themselves feel. So if you actually look at some of these great personalities, you understand their opinion, and that's when we can conclude on so many things. The devatas, they're called Chaya Iva Karma Sachiva. So what is the meaning of the word Chaya? Chaya means shadow. The devatas are compared to shadows. Just like a man and a shadow can never be separated, the shadow and the person are not independent of each other. They're interdependent. They're one and the same. So the demigods are compared to shadows because without one's karma, they cannot do anything. They are not independent to give anything. Therefore, they are called as karma sachiva. What is the meaning of karma sachiva? It means that the devatas can only give you that which your karma allows you to get. Therefore, demigods cannot interfere in one's life unless there is karma. One can worship them and they'll give you according to one's karma, but they can never go beyond that. But a devotee of Lord Krishna can come beyond that. He can come into one's life and crack through all that karma and give one a process by which all that karma can be destroyed in one moment. In each of our life, there is a devotee who has come into our life. The demigods will never interfere beyond the limit of that karma because they are like shadows, neither big nor small. According to our desires, according to our karmas, our puja, and they can give only that much. We may have desires, we will perform puja, but if we don't have the karma to fulfill our desires, the demigods cannot fulfill your desire. A devotee comes into a life of a person and changes his life from taking to giving. Now, it is not just the demigods, but Krishna will also give. Therefore, the devotees are called as Sadhavo Dina Vatsala. Devotees or sadhus are called Dina Vatsala. So, devotee will interfere. They will bring Krishna into our life and they will stop all these akanshas, all the things that are going on in one's mind. The devotees will interfere and say, don't have these desires. And they will actually help you. Now, when a devotee comes into our life, sometimes we feel that they are over interfering. They'll tell you very personal things. They'll tell you stop smoking. They'll tell you stop drinking. They'll tell you stop eating non-vegetarian food. They'll tell you stop doing this. They'll tell you start eating Ekadasi, start observing Ekadasi, start chanting. You might think, why is this person interfering so much in my life? Somebody has to interfere. Otherwise, your life will never change. Otherwise, you will not change yourself. And whoever you worship, they are not going to help you transform yourself. And therefore, when a devotee enters into your life, the devotees are personal representatives of Krishna. And they intervene into our life and give us very clear instructions that will help us come closer to Krishna. And it will help us break through the cycle of karma that we are all a part of. The demigods cannot transform our lives in Krishna consciousness. Devotees transform our lives in Krishna consciousness. Demigods, they can, because they are also devotees in one sense, but that's not the role they are playing. They are all playing the role of karma sachiva. Beyond that, they can't go. They can, but they don't. Unless and until you approach the devatas as devotees of the Lord. If you approach the devatas as devotees of the Lord, they behave differently with you. Then Lord Ganesh is not karma sachiva at all. He is playing the role of a devotee of the Lord. That time Lord Ganesh is known as Bhakti Vigna Vinashak. When you approach Lord Shiva as the greatest of devotees, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho, Lord Shiva is not playing the role of Karma Sachiva. He starts playing the role of a Vaishnava. So when you approach any of these devatas, thinking that they are devotees of the Lord, they play completely different roles. But when you approach them as Karma Sachiva, as devatas per se, they play a different role in your life. They only fulfill that much that your karma allows. So, when we come to devotees, when we come to the path of Krishna consciousness, through the interference of a devotee in our life, the path of Krishna consciousness is a path of no return. It's very interesting. Once you come into the path of Krishna consciousness, once you decide that I want to connect with Krishna, somehow or the other Krishna comes into your life. I know so many people who connect with Krishna consciousness and then somehow after some time they disappear. Everywhere they go, they meet devotees. Everywhere they go, somehow or the other they keep getting reminded, of the Krishna connection. And finally they end up coming back. Maybe many years pass away. Look at this. Arun is putting up his hand over there. Once you somehow connect, Krishna does not leave you. And somehow or the other, the connection keeps coming back again and again and again, So if one decides to go, but one has no choice because Sadhava Dina Vatsala. Demigods will not chase us. But when it comes to Krishna, Krishna's devotees will find us somehow. And, 1 year you may not go. Suddenly, one devotee may find you, outside a theater and say, please come to the temple, It always happens. Like, for example, there was a man in England who received a Bhagavad Gita from a devotee. And when he received it, he read it for some time and he got bored with it. After a while, he decided not to read it. So he took the Gita and threw it in the river next to his house. A couple of weeks later, he decided to buy fish to eat, He bought fish home, big fish, and he cut the fish. Inside the mouth of the fish, he found Bhagavad Gita. The same Gita that he had thrown. Imagine, he threw Bhagavad Gita into the river. And somehow he got the fish that ate that Gita only, basically. There was one brahmachari who was living in one of our temples in Europe. And, he decided to just leave the ashram, it's too much austerity for him, He left and took a flight to some other town. He grew his hair, he put on regular clothes. And the first thing he wanted to go was just go to a restaurant and eat good food and drink alcohol, And he was just entering the restaurant. One brahmachari, person, some devotee was distributing books. He came and showed him books. And this fellow, this devotee specifically bought the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he showed him that section of the book which talks about hellish planets. And he showed him what happens if you drink alcohol, He showed him the picture of the hell that you go when you drink alcohol. This man had already read that part of Srimad Bhagavatam. He still went inside and he sat there and he was trying to drink alcohol. He just couldn't. After knowing what is right and wrong, you will think 10 times before doing something wrong, isn't it? You just can't, enjoy. So the demigods are karma sachivas. They will never come and intervene in your life, interfere in your life. But the devotee is not like this. A devotee is Dina Vatsala. Dina Vatsala means poor. Dina means unfortunate. Vatsala means those who are genuinely caring for those who are unfortunate. That's what Dina Vatsala means. So when all the demigod worshippers, they worship demigods because Kankshita Karmana Siddhim, out of desire only. They have nothing else. They don't come to the devatas out of love, but they come to get something from them. Ravan worship Lord Shiva. elaborate worship to Lord Shiva. When he reached Kailash to worship Lord Shiva, he was prevented from going further by Nandi. Ravan, he said, "Who are you? How dare you disturb me?" So Ravan, he has no idea what it means to be dealing with Nandi. So Nandi warned him, if you disturb Lord Shiva, you had it. Ravan told Nandi, you are an animal, just keep quiet. And Nandi cursed him that because you have no respect for animals, animals only will destroy you. And then Ravan went to Kailash mountain and he picked up Kailash mountain. He tried to lift Kailash mountain. And it disturbed Lord Shiva. He was on top of the Kailash mountain. And Lord Shiva understood what was happening. You know what Lord Shiva did? He just put his one toe of his feet on the ground and pressed it. The entire Kailash mountain became so heavy. Practically, Ravan lost his fingers below the Kailash mountain because of the pressure of the Kailash mountain. And then somehow Ravan, he understood Lord Shiva is powerful. And he did thousands of years of tapasya to please Lord Shiva. And then finally, Lord Shiva was pleased with this tapasya and gave him the title of Lankesh. On the other hand, we find Vibhishan, the brother of Ravan. So Ravan went to Shiva out of first out of frustration, out of arrogance rather. And eventually when he understood Lord Shiva is powerful, he took shelter of him to ask him something. But Vibhishan, when he went to Lord Ram, he went without any desire. He went to Lord Ram with no desire at all. He went absolutely to surrender himself to Lord Ram. And when he surrendered himself to Lord Ram, Ram accepted him. Not only accepted him, but made him king of Lanka also. Lord Shiva made Ravan king of Lanka, but he lost Lanka eventually. And Ram, without Vibhishan asking him only, made him king of Lanka. And Vibhishan didn't have to ask the Lord anything. The Lord is Dina Vatsala. The Lord understands the heart of his devotees. And he gives what the devotees deserve, much more than what their karma allows them also to have. So this is the difference between approaching the Lord out of desire and approaching the Lord out of love. The Devatas are compared to the limbs of the body of the Lord. The Devatas are also called as Deva Narayana Angaja. What is the meaning of Deva Narayana Angaja? It means they are the limbs of the body of the Lord. So one should never think that the demigods and Krishna are the same. All the demigods are like different limbs of Krishna's body. Just like one has a nose, ears, hands, legs, etc. Krishna has a nose, ears, hands, legs. All the Devatas are compared to the limbs of Krishna's body. The limb cannot do anything unless it is connected to the body. The hand has to pick up something. You can't just cut off the hand and the hand picks up on its own. A cut off hand cannot pick up anything on its own. Unless the limb is connected to the body, the limb is not able to do anything. Similarly, all the blessings that the Devatas give us comes because they are connected to Krishna. The demigods are great devotees of the Lord. Not only are they limbs of the Krishna's body, but they are Krishna's greatest devotees. The third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam explains that how all the demigods, they are the ones who built the ancient temples of the Lord. The third canto, there's an episode of Vidura leaving his home and going for a pilgrimage. And when Vidura comes to the pilgrimage spot, it is explained the demigods built this huge, massive temple where the Lord is worshipped personally. Which essentially means, like say, for example, Jagannath Puri. Indradutta Maharaj, one great king, built this temple. And who came for the installation of Jagannath deities? Lord Brahma himself came. Lord Brahma is the one who put chakra on top of the temple of Jagannath because he knew that under this chakra is the worshipable Lord. So the three things that the devatas are compared to, first, they are karma sachiva, they compared to shadows. Second, they are limbs of the Lord's body who get their empowerment from the Lord. And third, they are great devotees of the Lord and construct massive temples for the worship of the Lord. Why else do they come? All these devatas, they don't want anything but service. Their desire is only to serve the Lord. The demigod worshippers' desire is to take. Look at the difference. The devatas, their desire is seva. And the persons who worship them, the demigod worshippers, their desire is meva. The demigods are interested in doing seva, and the worshippers of the demigods are interested in taking meva, basically. What do the devotees want? What do devotees of Krishna want? Dhruva Maharaj, when Lord Krishna came in front of him, he had so many desires. But the moment he saw Lord Krishna, he told Krishna, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. But Krishna not only blessed him with devotion, but also made him the pole star. If you look at the night sky, the star that you see, the brightest star that you see is Dhruva. Krishna gave him that planet, the Dhruva Loka, because of the worship, the intense love with which Dhruva worshipped Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, when he made the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, there was a bank named Punjab National Bank that was inaugurated by him, by Prabhupada. So Punjab National Bank is inside the campus of Krishna Balaram temple for the last 50 years now, So in his inaugural speech, Prabhupada narrated the incidents of Kubera inquiring to Dhruva Maharaj, to which Dhruva Maharaj asked for service to the Lord. Kubera asked Dhruva, what do you want? Kubera is the treasurer of the gods, right? He can give anything. So he asked, to Dhruva, what do you want? So Dhruva said, I don't want anything. I only want to serve the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada then compared that bank to Kubera's representative. So he also mentioned that Kubera has come to offer wealth to Dhruva Maharaj. Similarly, Punjab National Bank has come to offer wealth to Krishna Balaram. Hearing this, the manager became very panicky. He got very scared. Prabhupada is actually hinting that all the money of Punjab National Bank belongs to Krishna Balaram temple, So then, of course, Prabhupada said it's a joke, and then he got a little peaceful, basically. But the point is that Prabhupada was in a very jovial mode at that time. So the bank manager, he said, let me also tell you a joke. The bank manager, he said, one time a man wanted a heart replacement. And he was asked, whose heart do you prefer? The heart of a general from the army, the heart of a doctor, or the heart of a banker? And this man said that he could choose any of the first two hearts, but never the heart of a banker, who is so hard that never parts with any money. Because the heart is so hard, So like this, this banker was joking to Prabhupada. So the point is that all the wealth in this world has to be utilized in Krishna's service. So when Prabhupada heard this bank manager crack a joke, the Prabhupada said, I will also tell you another joke of a bank manager. So one man went to a bank, and this cashier was counting money, basically. So one man approached him and put a 10 rupee note, where this cashier was counting money. So this 10 rupee note also entered into the bunch which the cashier was counting. He counted that also, basically. So this man waited for some time and then informed the cashier that he was waiting. The cashier asked him, what are you waiting for? So this man replied, he said, I had heard that money attracts money. So I put 10 rupees. I thought it will attract all the cashier's money. The cashier said, he was right. Money attracts money. But my money attracted your money. Now your money is gone. You won't get it back. So, like this, Prabhupada is joking with this bank manager. And finally, Prabhupada said that all the wealth in this world, all the money in this world belongs to Krishna only. Krishna is Lakshmi Pati. And all the money in this world should be utilized for the service of Krishna in some way or the other. So the point is that people are going to the Devatas because they want to take. And the idea that the reason why people go to the Devatas is because they feel that the Devatas can fulfill their desires very quickly. So, here in the word, Krishna is speaking Kamshata Karmana Netra or Karmana Siddhin Yajanti Iha Devata. Shipram hi Manusha Loke. The word Shipram means quickly. Quickly, of course, men get results from their fruity work in this world. Shipra means instantaneously. So the demigods will give results very quickly. Krishna's another name is Hari. His name is Hari, right? Hari. But he has no hurry to give. He is not in any hurry to give. So Hari has no hurry or anything. Krishna wants to give, wants first purification to happen in your heart. Giving without purification means things often get misused. When you become a devotee of Krishna, Krishna waits for us to be ready till he offers us many things so that we can use them properly. Krishna knows that we may say that we will use for his service, but we will not use unless our heart is pure. In this world, people want everything instantaneously, isn't it? Instant food, instant dosa, instant chapati, instant phone calls, everything instant. Instant worship, instant results. First day you offer modak, ring the bell, and next day you come and you want results. That's the mentality in today's world, isn't it? So everyone wants results in 6 months, few months. Everybody wants quick results. But when you come to Krishna, no guarantee how much time it will take. You ask for something, you will not get it in 6 months, you will not get it in 6 years also. Krishna will give you only when you are ready. Ready means what? When your heart is purified enough that you utilize what Krishna has given you for the purpose for which it is given to you. Otherwise, if our heart is not pure, we end up utilizing it for the wrong purposes. We end up utilizing it for absolutely the wrong purposes. And therefore, whatever we are looking for, you want to get it fast, go to the Devatas. Devatas give results very quickly if you worship them properly. Therefore, many people don't come to Krishna as mentioned in the 12th verse of this chapter. Though so many things Krishna can offer if you surrender to him. But we have no patience. A devotee is contrary to this. What is the devotee's mentality? Hum honge kamyab ek din. That's the devotee's mentality. One day Krishna will glance on me. That is the hope for a devotee. He's simply watching the devotee and waiting when the devotee is qualified to give him everything. Therefore, a devotee as against a demigod worshipper is very patient. A demigod worshipper go to different demigods to get his material work done. And if that does not work, they will rub their nose under the feet of a human being also. So to achieve temporary things, they will do anything. And in fact, they are not even loyal to the demigod. You go to one personality, your desire doesn't get fulfilled. Next day, go to another personality. Desire doesn't get fulfilled there, go to a third personality. Desire doesn't get fulfilled there, go to a fourth personality. No loyalty whatsoever to the Devata also that you're worshipping. Why? Because your loyalty is only to your desire. Your loyalty is not to the person whom you are worshipping. Your loyalty is only to what you want. And if somebody is not able to give you what you want, go to somebody else. Therefore, they are not loyal because they are not patient. If you look at Shabari in the Ramayana, most people in this world are like ping pong balls going from here to there. There is no question. Look at Shabari in the Ramayana. Her guru told her, Ram will come. Matangeshi told her, and he went to the spiritual world. Shabari is waiting there every single day with patience, with full confidence. My Guru has told me Ram will come, means he'll come. That's all. She didn't ask her Guru, give me some contract, MOU, how many years he'll come, what date he'll come, give me I'll go and roam around and come back on that particular day. Nothing. Full faith that Ram will come. Enthusiasm and patience will come when one has faith in the words of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada had deep faith in the words of his Guru. Unlike Shabari and the devotees of the Lord, most demigod worshippers are impatient. They want quick results. And therefore, the Lord here clarifies the second misconception. What is the second misconception? The first misconception is that all paths lead to the same goal. No, they don't. Although ultimately they go to Krishna, but not in the immediate sense. The second thing is, Krishna and the demigods, are they the same? No, they are not. One cannot say that his hand and body are the same. Hand is a part of the body. The demigods are a part of the body of Krishna. They are part of Krishna's personality. Unfortunately, we in this world, we are so much quick to get things, and understand things, expect things, that we don't want to have the patience to get it. So the way we understand how to deal with the devatas, first thing is that learn to respect them as limbs of the body of Krishna. Every limb of Krishna's body is powerful and should be respected. So the devatas, they are empowered representatives of the Lord. So we have to respect them tremendously. Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesh, Lord Indra, Brahma, all these personalities, they have to be respected tremendously. Why? Because they are directly connected to Krishna. They are limbs of Krishna. They have all the power to fulfill any desire because they're connected to Krishna themselves. So first is, we need to learn to respect them very intensely, understanding this. And second thing is that we also learn to deal with them in the most appropriate way so that we get blessings from them. The devatas have the capacity to bless us. But what is the greatest blessing that the devatas can give us? The greatest blessing that they can give us is not fulfillment of our temporary material desires. The greatest blessing they can give us is they can connect us to Krishna. Because on one level, they are fulfilling the role of being the universal administrators. But on the other level, they are also devotees of Krishna. Because they are devotees of Krishna, they are Dina Vatsala. They, if you approach them in the right spirit, they can help you come closer to Krishna. There are so many of our devotees in our community. Their connection to Krishna is because of one of these devatas. I'll tell you an amazing story. One time, one of our, there was a family that was coming to ISKCON temple many years back. And they were coming to ISKCON, but they were great worshippers of Lord Ganesh. And there was a confusion in their mind. Should we worship Krishna or should we not? They were very confused. Are they doing the wrong thing? They were very confused. But they were such strong believers in Lord Ganesh, they decided we'll leave it to him. And this lady, she offered a prayer, Lord Ganesh. She said, please give us a sign that you want us to continue serving and worshipping Lord Krishna. She said, please give us a sign. The next day, they went to Siddhivinayak temple to have darshan of Lord Ganesh. When they went to Siddhivinayak temple, the pujari gave them a coconut. They brought the coconut home and they broke open the coconut. You will not believe what they saw inside the coconut. Inside the coconut, there was kumkum. Inside an unbroken coconut, there was kumkum. And right in front of their eyes, the kumkum spread and took the form of Lord Ganesh. And that coconut, they still have kept it on the altar. That day, they got confirmation from Lord Ganesh that what you're doing is correct. And they became strongly connected to our temple eventually. And their faith in Lord Ganesh has only increased from that time. It's not that it has decreased in any way, because they understood what Lord Ganesh wants them to do also. So it's not that these personalities are disconnected from each other. They are all connected to each other. Unfortunately, we look at it from the point of view of exclusivity. But the Vedic culture looks at everything from the point of view of inclusivity. It's not that when we worship Krishna, we are not worshipping anybody else. That's not how it is. When we're worshipping Krishna, we're actually worshipping everyone. We're respecting everyone. We are getting blessings of everyone. Because when you water the root of the tree, every branch, every leaf, every fruit, every flower gets watered. When we worship Krishna, we're actually pleasing every personality in the universe. And that is what is the recommendation that Krishna gives in this section of the Gita. So quickly summarizing everything, all gods are not one. First, we spoke about position. Just by the terminologies, we find Bhagavan, Devatas, the way in which they are addressed is always different. The second, we spoke about Bhrigu Muni's test, how he tested the different personalities. And we also saw what the opinion of the Devatas themselves is. So many of these personalities, they themselves have constructed temples for the Lord, etc. And then we spoke about why people go to the demigods, because they want quick results. When we come to Hari, you don't get anything in a hurry, because Krishna looks at what we need and what we, rather than what we want, isn't it? Because he's like a father looking at us in that spirit. And then when we worship the Devatas, when we connect with the Devatas, we're supposed to connect with them with great respect, and by their blessings, we can connect with Krishna in an even better way. So the next session, we're going to be talking about the caste system. That is the third misconception that Krishna clarifies in this section of the Gita. So the caste system is a very misunderstood thing. The word caste itself is the wrong word, in fact. And we are going to be discussing in great detail about how do you understand these four varnas and ashramas that we know of, and why did this whole system come up, who made the system, and why, what is the right way of understanding the system. And only when we understand all this, we will overcome a big misconception that people have. And one of the biggest things that Britishers left back in India to destroy faith is this whole idea of caste system. And before the Britishers introduced it in that way, that never existed in that way. So we'll try to understand what is Krishna's understanding of the caste system, and bring in light on that third misconception, which is one of the most important misconceptions in our Vedic culture. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Any questions, comments, please?
Prabhuji, may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So actually, this is also confusing. While you're trying to clarify things, it makes it so confusing, like how we have grown up celebrating different festivals, Durga Puja, Diwali, Dashera. Yeah. So Holi means everything. There is the way of worshipping, the way of the family being together, the way of connecting with neighbors, friends. There is a whole lot of things around festivity which was there around these festivals, and it was not only seeking something from God, it was also bonding with your family, with your relatives, with your friends, neighbors, through these festivals. But all these festivals had some what you call demigod at the center of it, like Durga or Ram or Janmashtami, Krishna was there. So we were doing all these festivals while we were growing up. What you are suggesting is give up all that and come to Krishna, or how does one, change our life which we have led all these years?
Yeah. So thank you for bringing this up. It's a very important question and a very, very relevant question. My understanding is I never ever recommended giving up all those festivals. All those festivals are very important and they should be performed. But the mood and the understanding with which we perform those festivals has to change. Like, for example, just to give you some examples, the gopis of Vrindavan, who are the highest devotees of Krishna, they worship Katyayani Devi. Now, you might say
Sorry,
that
they worship whom?
Katyayani Devi. Katyayani Devi is Durga Devi.
Okay.
So now, they are, you cannot have a higher devotee of Krishna than the gopis. If they are such high-level devotees and still worshipping Krishna, worshipping Katyayani Devi, then how can that be wrong? Isn't it? So, but when they go to Katyayani Devi, and the gopis went to Katyayani Devi, the only thing they asked Katyayani Devi was, please give us the blessings that Krishna becomes our husband. That's all. They never asked Katyayani Devi for material benefits. They never asked Katyayani Devi for, some external things. They only asked for connection with Krishna. Arjun, before starting the war, every single day worshipped Lord Shiva. Every single day of the Kurukshetra war, before the start of the war, he worshipped Lord Shiva. He's the greatest devotee of Krishna. He's heard the Bhagavad Gita. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, why is worshipping Lord Shiva? Because he understands the reason he's worshipping Lord Shiva is to take shelter of Krishna only eventually. One day during the war, the day when they were going to fight with Jayadratha, Arjun did not get time to worship Lord Shiva in the morning. He didn't have time that day. So he was very confused during when they began the war. He was very confused. He was telling Krishna, I am not feeling good because today I am not worshiping Lord Shiva today. You know what Krishna told him? Krishna told him, don't worry. So offer your flowers at my feet. That day, Arjun offered flowers at Krishna's feet. But when he came back in the night to the camp, he saw the same flowers on the head of Lord Shiva. So the point is that there is absolutely no problem in worshipping all these devatas. In fact, you should. There's no problem in celebrating all these festivals. In fact, you should. But the problem is in what spirit you do it. The problem is with what intention you do it. The problem is with what are you asking from these personalities? That's where the problem is. If you worship Lord Ganesh with the desire to become closer to Krishna, he will destroy all the obstacles that come in your path of coming closer to Krishna. You worship Lord Shiva, considering him to be the greatest devotee of Krishna, get you the blessings. Lord Shiva is going to be your biggest support in your advancement in your spiritual journey. You worship Durga Devi. Durga is a sister of Krishna, by the way. She's sister of Krishna. If you worship Durga as a devata, disconnected from Krishna, and ask her only for material things, that's where the problem is. But look at her connection. When you worship Durga, she is Mahamaya. Mahamaya is the one who keeps you away from Krishna. But the moment you connect with Krishna the moment you worship Durga Devi, in that mood in which I'm talking about as a greatest devotee of Krishna, she will transform into Yogamaya. And Yogamaya brings you closer to Krishna. So there is no problem in all these personalities and worshipping all of them. You should. But the problem is in the spirit in which you worship. That's where the confusion begins. Am I making sense, Pragyaji?
Actually, you are making sense, but that was not the thought that we carried when we were doing these things. Like we thought of Krishna when we were doing celebrating Janmashtami, or even for Holika Dahan, we were thinking of Krishna. But when we were doing puja for Diwali, we were doing Lakshmi Puja. So we were praying for health. We were praying for, in general, the thought in of my prayers, at least I can talk on my behalf, since childhood, my parents must have put it in my mind, was to ask to be, a good person, to add to a good society, and, try to be helpful to others. That is what has been the main prayer in our this thing. That you have to die and go back to Krishna. That desire means if we are the life is good or sattvic, then that is an automatic thing. God will anyway pick you up if that is the thing. You don't have to pray in that direction. So we were praying for something else. So It was not that when we were praying to Ram, we were praying to Ram to give us, love for Krishna. That is how we never did it. So this is kind of quite different. And I don't know why we made it so complicated. Why could we not have? Why do we have to have so many gods? Why could we not make it simple and only have Krishna in our thing rather than making it so complicated? Like, to go to him through somebody else. Why? I don't know. So complicated.
You are simple, so your way of looking at it is simple. That's beautiful. But most people are not that simple. So the world is created in a very complicated way to satisfy the complications of so many complicated people. And as I said, see, if you look at everything in an integrated way, it is very simple even now. There's nothing complicated at all. But if you look at it in a disconnected way, it seems very complicated. So what I am trying to do is simply integrate everything for you. So if you actually see, I am really suggesting a very, very simple thing only. I'm not suggesting anything complicated at all. As you rightly said, your parents have instilled in you the right kind of spirit, the right kind of intention, and the right kind of mood, and the right kind of culture, which is beautiful and wonderful. But unfortunately, if you observe the world, 99% of the world, they don't think the way you think. 99% of the world is thinking very differently in terms of Kangshana, in terms of desires. And I think that's what I've been trying to address. Okay, Pragyaji?
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Nageshi?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Your points today reminded me of Tulsidas ji's bhajan, wherein he prays to Lord Ganesha, saying, Mangata Tulasi Dasa Kara Jode, Basai Rama Siya Manasamore. So he prays to Lord Ganesha, Gaiye Ganapati Jagavandana. But the last sign-off line of that whole bhajan is, Tulsidas sings with both hands folded to place Siya and Ram in my heart. So it's along the similar lines to, I think.
Yeah, that's what all the great acharyas, they teach the same thing. There's no difference in the teachings.
I just recollected the bhajan, so I thought I'll just...
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Nagesh.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sunita ji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think, like what Pragya ji was saying, I think a lot of things have moved my brain, and it's shifted in terms of understanding with gods and the devatas and how Ganesha and so I think I still have to process that, and I liked the way you've interpreted it. I was going to ask basically the same thing, like with Lakshmi, you have the yin and the yang kind of thing, and you have the Krishna, and then you have Devi as well. So is our approach to her also to lead us to him, and to bring that. So I guess that's what you're trying to say, in that way that you pray to them to take us to him, to bring us closer to him. I have a question, but like, why did God make, I know we keep saying this is Dukhalaya and everything is a prison house and stuff. Why did God make this world so beautiful? It was meant to be a prison house for us, what I'm trying to say is, like, he's got the beautiful rivers. We've been traveling a bit now, and you are amazed at the mountains, you're amazed at his creations, you're amazed at whatever he's created. So why did he make it so beautiful if it was meant to be a prison house for us?
So the point is this: there is beauty in this world, but that beauty is peppered by so much of misery also. So you are seeing something beautiful, and then the next moment you hear something miserable happening, and then you see something beautiful, and again you kind of... So really, if you actually see the experience of good that we have in this world is so much littered with a lot of mess that is also happening. So this alternating of beauty and you can put it as ugliness or whatever you can call it, it's
Mm.
it's just simply to question what really the truth is, what really the purpose of life is. There is beauty, because whatever beauty is there in this world is a reflection of beauty in the spiritual world. Whatever
Right.
goodness is there in this world is a reflection of goodness in the spiritual world.
Mm.
So when we find any aspect of goodness in this world and we get attracted by that, we're actually getting attracted by the qualities of Vaikuntha, the qualities of the spiritual world. But in the spiritual world, the badness doesn't exist. We are
Mm.
always looking for a world that is absolutely beautiful, with absolutely no traces of sadness, badness, ugliness, etc. Right? You won't get it here. That's
Mm.
what. So the beauty is to remind you that there is eternal beauty.
Okay. Then I have, sorry, one more question. It's like, I mean, I believe in prayer. I'm not against prayer. And I do, and I am, well, I do try to pray well in whatever way we can. But like, does it really work when you pray for others? Meaning, you pray for your children, or you pray for different things, right? You pray for their good health, you pray that they do well in their lives, etc. Or is it like, does it not their destiny that they go through certain things in their lives as well? That's already planned for them. So what is this prayer going to do for that? Does it help in any way, or is it just something in our thoughts?
So you have to believe in something known as the science of vibrations. Everything in this
Vibrations.
world ultimately is energy, isn't it? Energy cannot be created. It can only be transformed from one form to another. So the science of vibrations or the science of energy is where I am trying to offer a certain amount of energy to another person's life. Just like, I can top up somebody else's mobile in another part of the world, sitting here, and that person gets it over there. Person may not even know that I'm doing it for him or her, but I'm doing it, benefit comes there. That's what the whole process of prayer is. So it's some energy that I'm transmitting through my will, through my desire, through my, goodwill to another person who may not even deserve it. But my energy does count, and my desire to transfer the energy does count. How much it will actually affect that person and how much that person will be able to absorb it, it depends on his receiver. My ability to transmit is high, but if the other person's ability to receive is not so much, so there's only limited that person will get. Isn't it? Like if I, want to give somebody a 4G data voucher, if I pay for somebody's phone number, but that guy is using a dabba phone, that old phone which is not a smartphone, what's the point in giving 4G voucher, isn't it? The data is going to be useless for that person. So that person's receiver is not capable of handling that energy, right? That's how it is. So some people can handle the energy, some people can't handle the energy. It depends on them, basically. But my desire to transmit that energy in terms of prayers and goodwill and blessings that's absolutely important, and it's very, very essential.
All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Rakhi.
Hare Krishna. So, I was about to ask you a question that I will, but you know what Sunita ji said? When you look at the beauty, so isn't like, Krishna he's going to tell us anyways in chapter 7, 9, 11, everywhere, like, whatever we see, everything is him. So looking at either the beauty or everything, isn't that be made so that every time we are conscious, like consciously we look at something and appreciate, we realize it's Krishna. So our relationship with Krishna goes even deeper.
Absolutely.
The cause for all this beauty is because he wants to gain our attention.
Absolutely. Srila Prabhupada, once he was sitting in a garden, and this was in a cold weather time and in a cold country. And when he was sitting on the garden, one devotee ran up to Prabhupada and he wanted to put like a mat or something below Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, "No, I'm sitting on Krishna's lap. Let me experience Krishna's lap." He was in that mood, and somebody wanted to bring him a blanket and cover him. So he said, "No, let me experience Krishna's embrace." The wind that was blowing, So for a pure devotee, they can see Krishna's presence everywhere. The Virat Rupa of the Lord, the backbone of the Virat Rupa was all the mountains, the mountain ranges with the backbone. The veins that are flowing through the Virat Rupa are all the rivers in this world. So like that, every part of nature is a part of Krishna's Virat Rupa manifestation only. So for those who want to choose to see beauty in terms of Krishna's manifestation, they're most welcome to see. In fact, they will see so much of it. But all the ugliness of this world also is a part of Krishna's manifestation only, you know. So
And he actually says the throw of the dice.
Correct. So everything is ultimately Krishna. But you know, when we actually worship him, we see the beautiful part of him. And when we don't worship him, when we kind of want to do our own stuff, then we see the ugly side of this world, which is also him. But it's a perverted reflection of what is in the spiritual world, basically.
Yeah. Thank you. So just coming to my question, you had said that, when you approach demigods, they ask you something as payback. Like, you do puja, like, whatever rituals to be done. I would not even call puja, I'll say rituals to be done, for them on certain days or whatever. So, but even for Krishna, so my question is two-pronged actually. So, but for Krishna also, for him, he also asks for a payback. He's asking that you become purified before I listen to you. So he's also asking for a payback. And the second part of it is, you had said that Krishna says, I reciprocate in any way anybody approaches me. So if I'm approaching and I'm not purified, but I'm approaching him for something, then how does it make sense?
Yeah. So essentially, the little further in the Gita, we're going to be talking about different reasons why people approach Krishna.
The 4 reasons.
The 4 reasons why people approach Krishna. So yes, there are people that will approach Krishna for the wrong reasons also, and obviously that is there. But the way Krishna reciprocates with them is accordingly. Like say, for example, there is a naughty child and there is a very good child, in the same family. So now the treatment, how a father or a mother gives a naughty child and a good child are going to be different, obviously, isn't it? Now, you can't expect them to have absolutely same treatment for both the kids. It's not going to happen, even though ideally it should happen, isn't it? So now anybody who approaches Krishna, for whatever reason it is, Krishna will reciprocate in whatever way he can, Typically, the way in which he reciprocates, when somebody comes with him, to him with material desires, he directs them to the devatas. Because that's the direction in which they should go, basically. In fact, Krishna says the inspiration that a demigod worshipper has to go to a demigod comes from him only.
Now I understand.
You understand? So if I am inspired to worship Lord Ganesh, where did that inspiration come from? That inspiration also comes from Lord Krishna.
But this explanation actually, so we have a small group in which we discuss the various verses. So there is this very American person who's been reading Gita, and the person says, but if every thought comes from Krishna, that means lately there was a incident in Raleigh, a 14-year-old boy, he killed 5 people, including the guy. And he says, this boy killed 5 people in a random shootout with no reason, no rhyme or reason. That means even he can say that this thought has come from Krishna. I just acted on the thought.
So let me explain what it is. If you remember, I had explained it when we were doing the journey of self-discovery. But the essence is this. Krishna is a sanctioner of your thoughts. He is not the originator of your thoughts. If you have a thought, he helps you put it in the right box. He doesn't originate the thought in you. If you have a desire, Krishna is not putting the desire in your head. Krishna is going to sanction your desire.
Okay.
You get it? So Krishna is not the originator of your desire. He will not, obviously, if he is the originator of all desires, then what are we doing? We are robots, basically. Krishna is not the originator of our desires. He is sanctioner of our desires.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
If you have a desire, it has to be sanctioned by the Lord, even if the desire is good or bad. right? And whatever your desire is, he will direct it in a particular way. And if you are really desiring to connect with him, then he will not direct you anywhere else. He will hold you.
Now
He
I
will
understand.
personally help you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Hare Krishna, thank you all very much for being here and for so enthusiastically participating in these classes. I wish all of you all a very happy Diwali coming forward next week. And may all of you utilize these festivals as opportunities to talk about spirituality to people. Don't just celebrate festivals as a fun gathering and having sweets and dressing up well and all that. Please make this actually divine and spiritually enlightening. Share something good that you have learned in all these months with people that come to your house. Share something good with people that you love so that they can advance in their spiritual journeys also. And also, as I said, this is the month of Kartik. All of you in this month of Kartik, please try your best to chant more rounds, try to read more Gita, try to absorb yourself in more spiritual classes. As much as possible, you hear Kirtan and participate in Kirtan. Go to ISKCON temples close by if there are any in your area and participate in the festivals there. Every single day in ISKCON across the world, we have Damodar Ashtakam going on. We have beautiful festivals going on a daily basis. In fact, some of the devotees can even organize festivals at your house if you like. If anybody in any part of the world would want festivals to happen in their house, you can just let us know and we can coordinate with the local ISKCON devotees and connect you all to them and help you all, advance in your spiritual journeys. Very, very grateful to serve all of you all. And once again, happy Diwali and a very auspicious Kartik month to all of you all. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.